be the asshole of all assholes, because we all know them. We all know that super fine ass gay dude who doesn't even walk on the same side of the street as you because you're just not hot enough for him. And we all know who that person is. And he would be that person. And because he's deaf, it doesn't mean like he can't get none, because there's no question he could get some. No question. He can get some of mine. I'd volunteer a whole lot of mine if I could. I'm just saying, he's deaf. And I think his handicap has him humbled. Because I promise you, if he weren't, he would be that beautiful asshole that we all know and hate because we're not him and because he doesn't acknowledge us. We all know them. We all don't care what generation you come from. We all know that dude who is a complete beautiful asshole. I've dated a couple, so I know this from experience, but we all know them. And I think it's like, little girls, settle down. Settle down. Don't start using your little handicap as to show people that you're humble and you're much better than everyone and you're more grounded. Because if all of us had handicaps, it grounds us to a degree. But you're modeling, you're superficial, you're vain. You come with some standard equipment that most of us don't even have or will ever have the opportunity of having. So you're beautiful and, okay, so you're deaf. But you can see shit. You just can't talk about it. So, no. If you were beautiful and blind and you didn't know it, I might give you some. I might be like, well, that can be a little sticker. But we're talking about deaf. You just can't hear shit. But people can tell you stuff because people can text you. People can write to you. You can commute. Little girl, go somewhere and sit down with that Niles, with your beautiful ass. Like, you have to watch this season to see what I'm talking about. Like, I know Tyra is so boring. Like, why are we even still hanging on to the fact that she was a model? And then people try to tell you she's a supermodel. She was never a supermodel. She was supermodel-ish. Like, Naomi Campbell was a supermodel. Tyra Banks was not. She was a model. She was a high fashion model, but she was not a supermodel. And that is, let's get that straight. But I'm so over her. Like, she's fake in those wigs and her big body. It's like she has become somebody's mama even though she don't have a kid. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. She's foul. But please watch this show so you can follow Niles and he does not have a good body. His body is not right. Not model material at all. It is at best JCPenney catalog. Because, all you have to do is like wear union suits, plaid, union beige, jeans and shit. So he could body wise, he could get away with that. No question. But no. Ooh, and then you're going to be like, you don't see me complaining. And, well, because you're deaf. You've been humbled. Life has humbled you. Life has told you that you could be beautiful, but you could be deaf. And you have to walk around with a translator. So you get it. Life has taught you a valuable lesson. But life hasn't taught these people that lesson. Oh. So, speaking of lesson. So I'm in the process of looking for new models. Because it's time to update the site. It's time to put new people on it. And so I met with a guy today. Really cool. Very interesting. He used to be a model with Ford. And see, I don't like dealing with people who've already modeled. Like, it almost defeats the purpose. It really does. I don't like working with people who have experience, because if most of the guys, if you look on the site, they've never modeled before. And working with someone who has comes with a little bit of baggage in the fact that they kind of know how to model. And the one thing I don't like about other people's sites when you see the models on their sites is they're modeling from head to toe. They're giving you the right eyes, they're giving you the right smile, they're giving you everything that they think that you want. And the one thing I don't do when I work with models is I don't want them to give me anything but honesty. If they're nervous, I want them to give me that. If they're excited, I want them to give me that, you know? But in this case, I was trying to figure out, I was like, how do I work with someone who knows what to give? And then we found out that he's never modeled nude before. And for no other reason other than he said that he doesn't know where the pictures will wind up. Well, the funny thing about that is, in today's society, your pictures are going to wind up everywhere. Tumblr, Grindr, everywhere. They're just going to be everywhere. Just when you take a photo and the moment you put it out there online, you might as well consider it belonging to someone else. They're not yours. And so I was like, well, you know, we'll connect when that portion of your life is over, when you're no longer worried about whether or not, what's going to happen to these photos. Because I can't promise you anything. I can't promise you that someone won't use them for evil purposes. I can't. All I can tell you is I know where they'll be. And if people go over there and steal them, then that's where I got no control. There's nothing I can do about that. And so it's like when I get involved with people who have all those phobias, I get nervous because their nervousness and their fears get, they land on my lap all of a sudden, in form of an email asking me to take them down and can you stop and blah. And it's like, no, like, don't involve me in that. Like, you know what this is about. You've seen my site. You've been there. That's the whole reason how we met, and that's why we're talking. But please don't freak out and then all of a sudden it all becomes my problem. Because I don't want it to be my problem. I want it to be a great experience for two people, myself and you. But I don't want it to be a thing where we're like now worried about what's going to happen. Am I going to lose my contract with Ford? Can I no longer run for president? I can't be on Glee anymore. I mean, I don't know, whatever the issue is. I just don't want it to land on my lap. I don't want it to be mine. I want it to be our project, but I don't want it to be exclusively yours, where it's like all of a sudden, because you don't like the fallout or the outcome, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want out. Because then that's unfair to the project. Because I remember I was working with Blake Runner, and he's, a straight guy, and all of a sudden the girl that he showed her his photos, and she lost it. She went nuts. She was accusing him for being gay, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, can you take my photos down? And I was like, sure. Because that's my agreement. Like, I'm not going to argue with you, and it's your likeness, not mine. And so I took him down. He asked me if I could take him down for a month, and I was like, sure. And so I did, and, it turns out his drama was my drama. And it's like, no, we had a transaction. We worked together. Here's the result. I kept my word. They're still there, and they're nice, and we keep it moving. But no, it turns out they're like, well, I screwed up because I told my girlfriend, and now she's pissed, and I don't want my photos up. Well, that's on you. Like, why is that my issue? And I don't like it. So part of me is just like, he's great. He's really, really great. He's exactly the type of person that I would use if he weren't a model. But the fact is, he is. And that leads me to go, what do I do? Do I work with him knowing that I shouldn't because he's got the experience and then he's got the fear and the phobia, and then I'm going to have the whole, oh yeah, this isn't working for me because people can see my penis and I can't deal with this? it's like I already know you have a phobia up front. So should I take that as a hint? It's like, maybe you shouldn't go any further with this, or should I just take the chance? And then it sort of makes me feel like, well, the whole purpose of the site and the whole purpose of me meeting these people are meeting people who are amateurs, not people who are the everyday man. I mean, the everyday man shouldn't be a Ford model or a former Ford model. Is that fair? That might be something you'll have to tweet me as well at OA Fagazine at Twitter or whatever, y'all, however you guys do that. And I think I'm also on Ask FM, so feel free to log on to Ask FM and you can help me with these questions, because I'm curious. I'm curious how that works, because I just think that as an individual who is just the artist, like, what if the Mona Lisa was like, my husband just not like that. I'm smiling like that. I'm smizing, and he don't like it. So, Leonardo, you gonna have to paint somebody else. You gonna just erase all that, paint that canvas white all over, because you gonna have me all up in galleries and people gonna be looking at me thinking I'm a hoe because I'm all smiling at you and I ain't even married. Just imagine if Mona Lisa had that conversation. I mean, just imagine. And just imagine the artist being like, girl, I am not about to mess up my masterpiece because your husband is acting. Nah, girl, no. You gonna have to go somewhere with that. I think there's a Leaning Tower in Pisa or something. You can go hang out there. I think they're doing tours. But, I couldn't deal. I wouldn't want to deal with that. I just feel like I have to learn from experience and past, experiences that, everything is not going to be, it's not going to be right, but I don't know that you want to walk into it, already having questions. So I'm going to think about that, because he's a nice guy, real good, real cool, very fun. He's literally the epitome of the type of person that I would absolutely do for this project. But I'm wondering if I'm going to have any, fallout from it. We're going to have to think about that. We're going to have to talk about it maybe in the next couple of weeks, because we're supposed to be doing the shoot at the end of the month. So we should see. Anyway, my time is almost up. So I'm going to go. And I'm sleepy, so I'm gonna go to sleep early tonight. I'm tired. So thank you so much, y'all, for listening to the show. And as always, I am your host, Omari Abasi, and you can check me out every weekend when I show up and to OA Magazine. And thanks for listening, and tell a friend. Take care.